Yo, gentlemen's game back. So with all this social distancing happening, the only way you're probably going to be able to meet someone right now is through online dating. Now, under normal circumstances, I've always preferred meeting girls in person as opposed to online dating. Not saying that it won't work, but I've personally found there's so much more factors you can control when you meet a girl in real life to build attraction, as opposed to letting an online profile determine whether or not you're given a chance to say hi. But you have to adapt to the times, and given that everyone is still on lockdown, online dating is more relevant than ever. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys some advice on how to optimize your online dating profile, and then a few tips on messaging her, so you can start getting some dates lined up once quarantine ends. Keep in mind these tips apply to any dating app, whether it's Tinder, Bumble, Coffee Meets Bagel, or Hinge. So first thing, your profile. It's a brutal reality that online dating can be very superficial. A girl doesn't really have anything to gauge you on besides your pictures before deciding whether to swipe right or left. So making sure you have good pictures is absolutely essential if you want to get matches on these apps. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of people who jump on the comments saying, exactly, it's all about looks. I'm ugly, I won't get any matches, yada yada yada. Look, I'm not going to pretend that looks isn't a big factor, but I'd also ask myself if I've put in an honest effort to look more attractive through things that can change, like my fashion and fitness. You want to take your profile pictures with a nice camera, a DSLR or something of that caliber. A regular phone quality picture ain't the best unless you're just naturally super handsome or good looking. If you don't have a DSLR or something like that, maybe ask a photographer friend to help you out. I suggest your first picture to be a front angle headshot of basically your shoulders and above. It's gonna seem suspicious if you have 4 to 5 pictures, but none of them is a clear shot of your face. It's kinda like how when you open a girl's profile and you notice all of her pictures are just face shots from a certain angle and not including her body, it's gonna seem a bit suspicious, right? No one wants to get catfished, so be upfront. So again, I suggest using a high quality camera, get a good haircut, and practice your smile. If you feel like you have bad teeth or something, you can grin instead of smiling with your teeth out. And if you truly feel like you have an ugly face, you can opt for a more zoomed out picture, where she can still make out your face, but the main focus of the picture will be either on a cool outfit or an awesome epic background, which shows her that you're fun. I'd also spend some time editing the photos and playing around with things like color saturation and contrast to make your photo look higher quality. Now for your second picture, I suggest either one of two things. If you're in good shape, definitely don't be afraid to show it off a bit, as long as it's not too douchey. You can wear a nice form-fitting white t-shirt, but having a good body definitely adds a few points, so don't be afraid to use it to your advantage. Here's a few examples. If you don't have a good physique, what I suggest instead is the fun/adventurous picture. You want to show some of your personality by doing something fun and unique that girls would likely find cool. And no guys, sorry, holding a picture of a giant fish that you caught doesn't count. It could be some cool travel picture or a fun activity you like. This is pretty much going to be your personality picture. Again, use a high quality image. If you have a good body, you can use the personality picture as your third picture. Oh, another quick tip. Having a dog or puppy in your picture is an absolute hack when it comes to getting matches. Seriously, get any dog, hold it up to you and take a selfie, or have someone take a picture of you playing or cuddling with your dog. Girls go crazy for that kind of stuff. Well, everyone kinda does. If you don't have a dog for your third picture, I suggest taking one with a small group of your homies or in some type of social situation. Long as everyone is dressed cool, this is going to be kind of your social proof picture. To let her know you're social, you're a cool guy that has friends, and here's a few examples. I think these 3 or 4 templates is a good place to start if you have no idea how to take good pictures. Remember, it's all about accentuating your best sides. Now, onto the bio. I don't think you should overthink this, so I personally keep mine short and sweet. There's no need to write a biography here, or rant about your favorite sports team, or make a long list of your favorite rappers. I don't want to give you like templates or categories of bios, cause I think there's a lot of creative things you can do with it. You really need to say just enough to pique her interest, which in combination with your fire pictures should compel her to swipe right. If you have some interesting hobby or passion, here would be a good place to put it. Or you can go with something more witty and humorous. Truth is, you can get away with a lot more cocky and funny, over-the-top attitude on Tinder, so don't be afraid to go bold. What you don't want to be is boring. Here's a few examples of witty, funny bios that are short and sweet. I like them because they're fun and low pressure. Now, let's say you've applied all these tips and you're finally starting to get some matches. What do you text? Well, I always suggest taking the initiative and making the first move, cause 99% of girls will not do that, unless it's an app like Bumble where they have to text you first. I always think starting off with some witty humor is a good idea. Again, it sets the vibe as fun and makes it a lot more likely she'll respond. I also suggest referencing something from either one of her pictures or her bio herself. Most people, but especially girls, tend to be kinda narcissistic. They love talking about themselves. In terms of actually holding the conversation through text, I suggest to cold read her, meaning to assume things about her in a playful way, instead of just asking direct questions. So for example, instead of asking, "Hey, what kind of music do you like?" just assume, "Hey, you definitely look like you're into R&B. I don't know why, but I totally get the feeling you secretly sing to yourself in the shower," or something like that. It's less boring and she'll be impressed that you accurately guessed that she's into R&B, or she'll be curious as to why you thought that. In terms of response time, I think this is a good principle to bear in mind for text game in general, but you want to make yourself available, but not too available. I personally will respond like an hour or so after she texts back. If she takes longer than an hour to respond back, then I'll do the same, but not in some petty, "Oh, she took 3 hours to reply, so now I have to take 4 hours to reply to show her I'm dominant" way, but more like me realizing I have a lot of things I can spend my time on and other girls I have as options, that I'm not so invested in any particular girl unless she's showing strong interest back. Lastly, once the conversation is going well enough, as in you feel like there's been enough rapport established, then that's when you want to take the convo off Tinder to Instagram or WhatsApp or something like that. It solidifies you more as a real person in her head as opposed to just someone on Tinder. You don't want to keep the entire conversation on Tinder until you get her out on a date, because it tends to make her more cautious and have a higher guard up during the date. She'll be looking at it like she's on a date with a stranger from Tinder instead of a normal person that she just happened to meet online. So that's it for today, guys. I think that should be a good beginner's tip for upping your online dating profile, as well as some things to keep in mind when you're texting your matches. If you like this video, do me a favor and comment with some other questions you have about online dating. Again, it's not my favorite way to meet girls, but hey, lockdown is a thing and there's a saying that those who can adapt, fail. And next week I have something special planned, so make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, peace.